Greeting interwebs, this is Jacket K and welcome for another set of Pokemon battles. Now, this battle as well as a few others I plan to feature in the future were from a stream I did a few weeks ago where I allowed anyone to join me in a Pokemon battle. Now, unfortunately I don't know most of the names for these guys because I didn't take YouTube names while I was arranging the battles. But if you were my opponent for any Pokemon battle and I don't mention you, feel free to just let me know in the comments and I will update the video description with a link to your YouTube channel to show that you were my opponent for that particular fight. Now the nice thing about this stream was that I was finally able to use my full team, while in the raining battles I was only able to use 3 at a time. So these stream battles were really my first time using my full Persona 4 team and getting to show it off to its full potential, in theory. But I'll let the battles speak for themselves on this. Before we start proper though, I do want to point out that the music I use is in relation to the theme of my team, and I was waiting for a battle that I could use this song along with the team, so I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. One thing I tend to do before the battle starts is look at the team and figure out which Pokemon could possibly be the Mega Evolution. Obviously, it could either be Charizard or Gengar. While I think some people consider Mega Gengar banned, I don't really specify what rules I'm using for this stream, so I gotta keep my eyes open to that possibility. But Mega Charizard is also just as likely, so I should keep my eyes open on that as well. Although Greninja can be used well and can be threatening, especially with his hidden ability. Leading off with my own Greninja Yosuke, and he leads off with the Gengar. So I assumed that there was going to be a swap here, so I decided to get a layer of spikes up, taking advantage of the spikes. But instead he reveals to me that he has Destiny Bond, and that he's likely not a Mega Evolution. So I decided to take advantage of this and just set up the rest of my spikes while he continues to try to take me down with him. Eventually he catches on and decides to go for a Toxic. A fair play on his part, although I am surprised that he decided to stay in, probably assuming that he would be able to take me out with Destiny Bond. I do have a trick up my sleeve though, and that would be that one of Yosuke's moves is Taunt. I go for that right away before he decides to start using Destiny Bond again, and I played well because that's exactly what he was going to do. In hindsight, it was probably wiser for me to go for the Taunt earlier on before Yosuke got poisoned, but it's in the past now. I probably didn't even need to go for the Taunt considering I was faster, but better safe than sorry. Yosuke's biggest role in battle is those spikes and using Taunt on defensive walls and annoyers. So I consider his role in this battle done, even though I might have been able to swap out and save him for later. Getting a burn off on a Pokemon like Gallade would probably be more useful for me in the long run. But he catches me off guard by revealing the Thunderbolt. I honestly did not see that coming. I was expecting the fighting type move, but then again, he might have been expecting my Greninja to have Protein, which changes its type, so it was probably predicting me to be a pure water type. But I don't know for sure. At this range I know Chie can take it out with a Fake Out, so that's exactly what I go for. A rather safe play, but better safe than sorry. Especially since I lost one Pokemon, you gotta make sure that he loses too. Now comes the Staraptor, and I should pay attention to that Intimidate drop. Yes I do, so I swap out to save it, because that Brave Bird is pretty well obviously coming, so I decided to switch into Kanji, my Electric Drive, to take the hit. Because I don't think I mentioned this before, but Kanji is pretty much my bulky tank. He's physically offensive with EVs in the attack, but also with the EVs in the defense. What I don't see coming is this close combat, which I should. It's like a signature move of Staraptor at this point. I don't even know if that critical mattered. With Kanji's bulk, I like to say it did, but it probably didn't. At least it gets some Rocky Helmet recoil damage, but it would have been nice to get at least a Thunder Punch or something off. At this range I know Chie can take out the Staraptor, it's a matter of if it can outspeed it. Luckily I am correct with the assumption that Chie will outspeed the Staraptor, and I am able to take it out. If I had confidence that Stone Edge would have taken out the Staraptor without the health reduction, I would have gone straight for that instead of swapping to Kanji. But I know Chie can't really do anything to this, so I swap into Yukiko, my Gardevoir. hoping for the Dragon type move, but instead he goes for a Hurricane, which, ouch. He gets the critical hit and the confusion from Hurricane, which I kinda expected. The confusion part, that is. The critical hit did seem a little bit unfair, but it won't matter in the end. Despite my setback, I am hoping that I can outlive the Hurricane, get by confusion, and pull off a Moonblast. I am Mega Evolved, so that should help. Unfortunately, I lived the Hurricane, but I don't live the confusion, which causes any possibility for Yuko to play a role in this battle. And I'm forced to rely on Teddy to take out this Pokemon. Like I said in the last battle, when I'm forced to rely on Teddy, I get very nervous. But Teddy actually takes this Dragon Pulse rather nicely, and the Icicle Crash will actually finish it off in one hit. I did not expect either of those things. Sure, it's Dragon Flying, so it's quad weak to the Icicle Crash, but considering Teddy's more defensive than offensive in the way I EV train, I still didn't expect that. So I don't see Teddy doing anything more in this fight, so I leave him in, going for the Aqua Jet, hoping he's Mega Charizard Y, but he turns out to be Mega Charizard X. But now that I remember Drought reducing the power water moves, it probably doesn't matter, it probably would do a similar amount. But I do at least get a hit, even if it's a very small amount of damage off before Teddy goes down. Even though it's Fire Dragon instead of Fire Flying, I am still putting my bets on Chie to finish up the job. I'm not worried about Flying type moves, although in hindsight, Mega Charizards never carry Flying type moves from what I hear. But after that fake out damage, Chie is able to take out the Mega Charizard with Stone Edge without the quad weak super effective damage. The normal super effective damage is enough. And his Greninja is last to the show. And thankfully, Chie has the Fighting type move, although the Greninja does have the Psychic type move. Amazingly enough, I'm able to live it, pull off the high jump kick, and win the battle. I'm actually surprised by that, because Chie is actually built to be very heavy hitting, very fast, but very frail. So if he had Protein instead of Torrent, that same type attack bonus would have been enough to take out Chie. I am almost certain on that. Although I did have Naruto in reserve still. However, Naruto couldn't Mega Evolve, so if the Greninja had a Water type move, it might have been able to take out Naruto as well, although, again, I'm not quite certain on that. So, good game, man. That was a close battle. I was able to actually show off my entire team, and I'm glad Chie was able to have a video where she was the primary star. She was pretty much MPV of this battle. Now, if I get the time to commentate another battle before next Saturday, I will have another battle for you guys then. But otherwise, see you next Saturday for another Pokemon battle. Take care.